You tell a story. He does too. Can he one up you? Well, that's up to you. Tell your best tale and you never know. You could be a winner on the One Upper Show.
Okay, and welcome back to the One Upper. I'm your host, Ted Blazak. We've got another fun family episode. We're having a lot of fun. We're sitting around the kitchen table at our Airbnb, and we're all telling our stories. And right now, this is one of my favorite guests because this is one of my favorite people in the world. This is my daughter.
Hi.
Yeah.
Your eldest,
My
technically.
eldest,
Yes. Yeah.
eldest
daughter.
And we work together
Yeah,
too.
we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're our trailblazing canvassers.
Yep.
And Alli runs operations, and Larissa, her wife, who was on earlier, runs our human resources and finances, and
Yeah.
it's great. It's great working with your kids.
It still shocks me that I'm COO,
Yeah,
to be honest.
she's amazing. She does a great job, runs things from A to Z, makes it easy for her old man to stay home and watch TV.
Hang out in Florida.
Yeah, hang out in Florida
Yeah,
while
right?
you're working hard. Yeah, that's just the way I wanted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we're all together for your younger brother Jace's high school graduation.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he's finally graduating.
Yeah, so we all got together at this Airbnb, and we're hanging out for a week, and
Yeah.
we're having a good time, right?
We're telling stories. Yeah.
We're telling
Yeah.
stories.
We're having a good time.
Yeah,
I would say so.
You guys are playing a ton of Magic.
Yeah, okay. You don't got to out me like that.
Come on, I'm playing Catan all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, we're nerds.
Yeah,
we
we're
know
a geeky
this.
family.
Yeah.
I
We
know.
we definitely are. We like
Yeah.
to play tabletop games here.
Yeah. And thanks for coming on.
Of course.
And
Of course.
And I know you've got a good story. I know I've heard the story briefly, not
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lay it on us.
So yeah, in my younger years, my first real job, I would say,
Yeah.
you know, I used to babysit, but we don't really count that, right? My first real job was working in a theater.
Yeah.
And you know, I moved up the line there.
At a movie theater.
Yeah, at a movie theater.
And where was this?
In Loveland, Colorado, where
you grew up.
Yeah, where I was born and raised. It was
Yeah.
pretty close to my high school, so it was super convenient. I could get off class and, you know, go close or whatever.
Was this right after high school you were working there, or while you were in high school?
Partially while I was in high school, and then transitioned into college. I worked there for almost 3 years, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I moved up the ranks from floor staff or whatever, and then into management position.
How long did it take you to move up to management?
Not very long, like 3 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I mean, I can't really say that the candidate pool was the best. So, I can't really say there's a lot of other candidates there. But 3 months.
Yeah, no, but I'm sure you worked hard, did a good job,
did,
and
yes.
deserved your promotion.
I take pride in my work, even
work
if
very
it's at
hard.
even if it's at a movie theater for $7.25 an hour. Ow, God. But yeah, so I moved up in the ranks, and the way this story starts is I was supposed to be. I'll preface this is I was the booth manager, which essentially is you're in charge of the production, uploading the movies every week. You don't. It's not like film. Like
Right.
you would probably imagine. It's a hard drive that the studios send to you every week, and you literally stick it into a big ol' like computer set that you upload it into, and you the way that it unlocks is with a key. And the studios will send you a thumb drive that has like an encrypted file on it that unlocks the movie so that you can like run it for a certain amount of times.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought they're the big giant
No.
really things.
Yeah. So it used to be like probably, I mean, in the early 2000s is when I would guess that most theaters got rid of film. And transitioned to, like more digital.
Oh.
But yeah, so like that was my job is I would get the hard drives each week. And then I would be responsible for uploading the keys to make sure that the premieres for the new movies would run each week, right? So I was working a booth shift. It was Wednesday because the movies would premiere on Thursday. And I was working 12 to 8.
Uh-huh.
I was just supposed to be booth.
Right.
So, like, I'm not even supposed to be downstairs dealing with customers or employees or anything. I'm just supposed to be upstairs on my computer, you know. Right. So it's 7:30. I've done all my deeds for the day because, you know, it's really not that hard to upload. You stick it into your server, which is what it is, and you just let it do its thing, right? So it's like I try to keep myself busy testing, whatever, like getting my money's worth for the day because it's like, well, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to get my 8 hours, you know? I'm like, fuck metropolitan corporations. So, yeah, it's like 7:30, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get ready to go. You know, I'm kind of downstairs in the manager's office. This is February when this is happening.
You're just killing time at the end of your
shift. Yes. Right. And this is the slow season for us. February is slow season for theaters. There's not really a lot of big releases. I
didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and you know, like not a lot of people are coming. So like generally, especially with like smaller theaters, like our schedule was from like 2 in the afternoon, like was when we would open. Yeah. And then 9 at night is when we would close. So it's like we weren't really like we didn't really need a lot of staff. You would have one manager closing, one concessions, one box, right? So I'm getting ready to go home. The closing manager's here. Christy, she's a really close friend. We're just kind of, you know, hanging around, doing whatever in the office, like watching the cameras, like seeing whatever's going on.
Right.
And we about 7:45 we get a call from our concessions attendant, Dakota. She's like, we just got a complaint from somebody in Theater 8. There's a lady in there touching herself and moaning in 50 Shades of Grey, and somebody wants us to do something about that. and Christy and I just kind of looked at each other, and Christy responded, said, okay, I'll be right out, because she's the closing manager. She's the one that has to deal with it. And she just kind of looks at me and is like, do you want to come help me with this? And it's my choice. I could get off. I'm not the closing manager. I'm just booth. Yeah. But I have a morbid curiosity. Of course, I want to go see what this lady is doing in 50 Shades of Grey. So yes, I go with her. The first time we go in the theater, we don't see anything. So you know, there's like the ramp going up into theaters, and then it separates. So we just kind of stand there, like where like the wall starts, just kind of like looking, like scanning, like do we see anybody that's acting suspiciously, you know, like what do you look for when you get into like that, a woman is touching herself, like you know, we don't see anything, so we're like, okay, whatever. We go back to the manager's office. It's like I'm getting ready, I'm like literally packing up my bag for the end of the day, getting my keys, and we get another call from our booth or our box office manager now. And they're like, this person who called earlier about the 50 Shades of Grey lady, he said that she stole his popcorn and he wants a refund and just wants to go home now. And so Christy's like, response clearly, okay, we'll be there, right? Go ahead.
No. Actually, you go ahead, and then I'm going to ask my questions.
So we go to the box office. We deal with that. We deal with the customer first because it's like, okay, we got to get him out of here, get him his refund.
Okay. Now I can ask. So you're talking to this man who's seeking a refund for his popcorn and his movie admission ticket.
Yeah, him and his wife went to the movie together. Yeah.
So him and his wife went for a very...
And it's not a crowded theater. Let me reiterate this. It's like, it came out on probably Valentine's Day that year. And it's like late February, maybe early March. And that movie didn't do great in theaters because, I don't know, it was close to softcore porn.
Right.
I'll just be honest. So it didn't do great in theaters. So.
I imagine that's a movie someone rents and watches by themselves at home. Or, So anyway, but this guy brings his wife to 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably is a date because it's our theater's in a mall.
Right. So it's probably date, but part of me wants to say, if I were you in that position, I would be like, "Hey, man, what did you expect?" You know,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
this movie.
I mean, fair, but sometimes when you're 19 years old and somebody's demanding a refund, it's easier to give them the refund than it is to argue with them.
So, but what does he actually say about how he lost his popcorn?
So literally, all we know is he's like, the lady came up and took it from me, is literally how he described it.
She just walked down the aisle,
Yes.
grabbed the tub, and left. And he knew this was the same woman who was moaning earlier.
Because like I said, it wasn't a very crowded
weird.
Theater. So it's not like you had a lot of people to pick from. There's probably like 10 people in there. And she's the one in the front row moaning and touching herself. Like it's really not hard to figure out which one she is.
Did you hear from other customers?
No, which also I've never thought about, which makes me think there's some weirdos that were in that theater that probably were enjoying that, Ted.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. I would think that would be bonus feature.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like extra for the price of your admission.
That's audience participation. Yeah, it's like Rocky Horror. Or
it's an R-rated movie, so you might as well get a little bit of a consolation prize for your admission, right?
By the way, it's a pretty shitty, boring movie, actually.
Oh yeah. And I mean, we're not the greatest theater either. It's not like a luxury theater. Like we have reviews that say we smell like pee. It's not a high quality place to be at all.
So you gave the guy his money?
Yeah, we deal with him, give him his money, refund his popcorn, because whatever, I don't care.
Right.
Metrolux can eat that. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? And so Christy and I kind of recoup and we decide, what are we going to do? So we go back into the theater, and he had described her. Like, he was at least able to give us a description of what she looked like, and he was like brown, poofy vest. You know, like one of the like North Face vests that like people from Portland will wear. The puff jackets,
keep you warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's like she had a dark brown one of those, and it's like
that's hardly good 50 Shades of Grey outfit. But
no, but it's very easy to pick out at least, right? Yeah. So we go into the theater armed with this new information, and I see a lady in the front by herself with, that matches the description.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at Chrissy, and I'm like, so what are we going to do? She just kind of looks at me and is like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, okay. I guess I'm going to go talk to this lady. So she's in the front row.
Yeah.
I go walk up to her, and it's like, I'm 19. I'm like, what is she going to do? I'm just going to ask her to leave. And then be like, ma'am, can you, you're disturbing other patrons. Can you come with me?
Yeah.
And she, while in her seat, looks me dead in the eyes and goes, come with me. And I literally have never moved so fast in my life. I ripped my arm out of her hand, turned around, and sprinted out of that theater in probably about 0.5 seconds. Looked at Christy and was like, good luck, bitch. Like, I'm not even stopping.
So she grabbed your hand very firmly.
And looked me dead in the face and said, come with me. And I was like... in the context, I was like, no, you need to get away from me, ma'am.
So I kind of hate having this conversation with my daughter. But
yeah.
When she said come that's what she meant?
I mean, that's what I had to assume.
She wasn't like, come with me to some fantasy land. She's just a crazy person.
I cannot. We were in 50 Shades of Grey, and she said nothing else after that. So I have to take... my context is given, right? So I have to assume that that's what she means, to come with her.
I never heard this part of this story before. So
So after...
who says yes to that?
Nobody.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
No,
I was planning on having an orgasm.
No sane person.
Oh, my God.
And after my about 10-minute...
So you ran out.
Oh, yeah, I ran to the, what's called the scullery, which is the behind the concession stand.
Uh-huh.
And I had, a 5-minute where I just put my arm in scalding water and bleach and just kind of, cried to myself, I'll never be clean again.
Oh, my God, my poor child. Oh.
And that's when Christy called security.
Oh.
So it's the story doesn't get much different. Unfortunately, she tried to pull the security guard down on top of her too. After we regrouped, brought the security guard in with us, and she just tried to pull this 65-year-old man down on top of her in the theater. This woman obviously had an itch that she needed scratched. That's all I have to say. She was looking for anybody to help her with it.
Was she high or drunk?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let me get to the end of the story.
Oh,
so,
please. Okay.
Yeah. So after taking her out and telling her that if she causes any more ruckuses, that we're gonna have to remove her. After the entire time.
You're only giving her a warning after she's already grabbed you.
See, you have no idea how shitty of an establishment I worked at. Yes, we were only giving her a warning.
Wow. Okay.
Well, it's like, It's 9 o'clock at night. I really don't care. Like, the guy that had a problem with it already complained and left.
Right.
Everybody else in here clearly does not care, which is their prerogative, right? So the movie ends, right? And our usher crews go to clean up. And it's like, at this point, I'm staying. Like, I'm fucking curious. I want to see what's going on with this woman. I don't care that my shit is over.
Yeah.
Our usher crews start to clean up, and they find her purse and just smearing off bottles. Just little shooters just littered around her purse. And then not 10 minutes later, her brother comes in and says, "Hi, have you seen my sister? She has a drinking problem, and the last place we saw her was on the border across the street."
Oh my God.
And I said, "Here's her purse. She's your problem now." And that's the end of that story.
Wow. So how old was this woman?
She was probably like early, mid-30s.
And the brother was?
Probably about like mid to late 30s. He was older. He was the older brother, definitely.
So the family lost the younger sister that was a drunk, and she wandered off and is a very horny person.
We worked in a mall, so there's a lot of different restaurants and like shopping complexes where the theater was located. So they probably went to family dinner, and she was like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom," and wandered off and bought a bunch of shooters. Yeah, and also came to watch 50 Shades of Grey and traumatize a couple of young adults.
Oh my God! So wow. So that's a crazy, and was that like midway through your career at the movie theater or towards the end?
That was probably about midway through. I was probably that was about a year and a half into it. Like, so I was seasoned at that point, and that was my lesson to never take radio calls at the end of my shift. Again, that was the last time I ever took a radio call at the end of my shift, bro.
Yeah, but you had good experiences at that movie theater.
I mean, I met my wife.
There you go. Yeah.
So
that's the best part.
That's the best part of it. So
your wife worked there too.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where you met and fell in love.
Yep. Yeah.
So that
if I didn't have that terrible movie theater, I wouldn't have my wife. So thank you, Metrolux, for my beautiful wife.
Yeah, I think you guys need to have an anniversary party there sometime.
I don't know if it's still standing.
Wow. Well, that's a crazy. I have two quick movie theater stories that are. One that's you win. Yeah. You win.
Yeah.
Okay. And it, as happens to me so often on the show.
Yes.
I can't one up that story.
It's fair. It's pretty out there.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that really is.
It definitely prepared me for no matter like anything that I would come in contact with in the like professional world. Like anything customer service based, I'm ready for now because it's like if I can deal with that, I can deal with anything. You know.
So I'll tell two quick movie stories.
Yeah.
Okay. The first is gross.
Many of them are.
I'm at it's the Baghdad Theater in Portland, Oregon, which shows it's a brew pub movie theater, and basically you can buy a pitcher of beer and sit down and drink your beer or eat pizza and watch the movie, and the movies are. Like they've been out for months and they only cost $3 to go see. And blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I go and it's like a Tuesday night or something. And the place is virtually empty.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see my movie. And then there's this guy who's sitting across the aisle. Fortunately, a row or two in front of me, which. It's very fortunate because I'm watching the movie. I'm laughing at something stupid, and this guy's he's laughing kind of loud, and then he's kind of quiet, and then all of a sudden I hear this beer bottle drop on the floor and just roll and roll and roll all the way down.
Yeah, because it's slanted. Yeah,
right. It's really loud.
And we're just.
But there's like 4 people in the theater.
Yes.
And I paid $3 to get there. And the dude's a lot bigger than me. And I don't really care.
You're like, whatever. No, whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, a couple minutes later, and then another beer bottle, and it rolls and it rolls. And it like hits a chair and stops. And then it rolls again. And it's just enormously loud. And then all of a sudden, like about another minute later, I hear the sound of him urinating.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Sitting in his seat, he just pulls it out and he lets it go. And it's also like the longest pee in history.
Like he should be winning a Guinness Book of World Records for it.
You can't hear the movie. I miss half the dialogue. I'm a little nauseous, you know.
You can focus on anything else.
It literally is leaking into the aisleway.
Oh my God!
And I feel bad. I think I said, all right, I'm going home.
You know what? I don't care that much about this movie.
It was only $3. I'll come back another.
Right.
I feel bad that I didn't like. I think on the way out, I said at the box office, I said, you might want to check it out in there. That's all I said. I kept going. I didn't get real specific.
I feel so bad for the usher that stumbled upon that.
Right.
That pool of urine.
Yeah. But you can clearly see that your story's a lot better than mine on that one. But the other story I have is a sweet story, and it's nice.
Okay,
that's good. I had a girlfriend in college, Jenny Goodnow, who I'm still Facebook friends with, and she's a lovely person. And Jenny, if you're listening, you're in this story. So Jenny and I both love the movies.
Yeah.
And so, but we're poor college students. And what we would do is we would go to the matinee.
Yeah, on Tuesdays, by any chance? That's the cheap days.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm like,
not
that anybody needs to know.
but then what we would do is, I would always look at the movie schedule and time it. Mm-hmm. And so it would be like, oh, this one's about to end. Come on, quick. We're going to go to theater 6. And that one's only started 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd always see these two. Well, I don't know why, but I was like, okay, follow me. Because there was this door, and it looked like it was like an exit door, but it looked like it may have led to something.
Yeah.
And I just opened it. And actually, I think it might have been I didn't want them to see us walk out the front because I think we were on our 3rd movie, actually.
And they're like, wait a minute, those kids have been here for like 7 hours. So where have you been?
So I think I was just trying to exit.
Yeah.
This is in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
It's Henley Town. But it doesn't lead to the street. Instead, it leads to this stairwell. And we just follow this stairs. And
Does it go up?
And it goes up. And we have no idea where it's going.
I think I do.
We're both, right. It opens up into this long, kind of narrow corridor.
With a bunch of projectors, huh?
With a bunch of projectors.
Yep. Somebody didn't lock the booth room.
Right. We're in the booth, and it's like this T-shaped thing that stretches out. And there's this one guy there, and he's this middle-aged guy.
That's me.
Right.
That was my job.
And he's reading the newspaper, and he is so happy that we're there. He walks in. Yeah, no, we walk over and we're like, at first I'm like, sorry, we went the wrong way. He's like, no, come in.
He left the door unlocked on purpose. What he did, he was like, I need a couple visitors. It's boring up here.
He was terribly lonely. And he went around and he gave us a tour, and I asked him questions. He showed me how the projectors worked, and the little flash that meant he had to change the reel.
Man, it was so much harder to be a booth manager back then. Like, my job is so easy compared to his.
I think a lot of it was he was spending a lot of time chatting with my girlfriend too. She was wearing a lovely dress, and I think, but I didn't care because I was just so fascinated,
So
with being
intrigued,
I was like,
yes.
go ahead, flirt with her. Just how does this thing work?
Yes.
And he let me like flip a couple movies over
Yes.
when there was a flash. Yeah. And then after a while, I was like, okay, well, thanks. This is really nice. We got to go. He's no, don't leave.
That man
come
needed
back,
a friend,
come
dude.
back. Yeah, it's like the lonely man.
The lonely booth manager.
Yeah. But my girlfriend had given me several hints.
Let's
that,
go.
Let's
I'm
go.
tired of this guy. God.
This guy's creeping me out.
Freaking weird, dude. Yeah.
Eyes are up here.
Clearly, he doesn't spend any time with anybody but these projectors.
No. So we went home and we laughed, and it was a great experience.
That's cute. That is really cute.
Yeah.
He definitely left that door unlocked on purpose.
Yeah, I
so.
think so. Yeah,
For sure.
I really do.
Yeah.
So if you folks at home have got a movie theater story that can one up Alli or my own, and Alli's the winner, we would love to hear it. So please email us at theoneupper.show@gmail.com. You can send us an audio, a video, or just type up your story and we'll put it on the air and we'll send you a t-shirt too. So until we meet again, keep those good stories coming. All right, good.
The One Upper Show is brought to you by Trailblazing Canvassers and the Burning Sage Productions.